Hey, this is Asher Rafaelov. I am going to be talking to you about Welcome to Eternity. What you see now is basically just a disclaimer. Uh, it's kind of explaining, kind of trying to put it into context, what Blashco is. A lot of people get confused about the name of Blashco. Blashco actually is Blake and Asher mashed together. It's me. It was created by me and my close friend Blake Powell back when we were like in third grade or fourth grade. Okay, so this music is the intro to Lords and Tyrants, which was a basically a feature length movie directed by Sean Forrest, who's a member, been a longtime member of Blashco. Uh, this is an unreleased film. Actually an unfinished film. It's called A Perception of Jew, and it basically it kind of inspired me to make Welcome to Eternity because it's like it was a bunch of random, really small, short scenes, kind of with characters that would be like returning and stuff like that. But really, it was just like a bunch of random, dumb scenes, and I decided to make this the intro because I was taking a class called Alternative Screen where we would watch very experimental films like Andy Warhol and stuff, and Stan Brakhage, and I learned that many experimental films, and it would be hard to not classify Blashco as experimental at times. A lot of them start with an awakening. So, like for example, Atland or Fireworks, Atland by Maya Deren and Fireworks by Kenneth Anger. I think it's Kenneth Anger. Not sure. But yeah, so basically this kind of represents Mikey, who is like the main Blashco character. He is definitely the poster child, I would say. It's basically just him awakening into the chaos and insanity that lies ahead. And this is probably like one of the best parts of the film right here. Just this awesome song with our awesome names soaring at your face. Luckily it's short. Unlike Mikey, I like to keep my title sequences like tight and concise. Oh shit. Okay, this is this is a sloppy gelato fest, and I don't really know where the term gelato comes from. I mean, I know that it's the weird type of ice cream, the like French type of ice cream that you can get, but we just took I don't know, we just created the word. We just took the word and just kind of ran with it. I mean, nothing in this film clearly makes sense. For the same class, for alternative screen, we had a final project, and as a kind of a cop-out, I turned in a Sloppy Gelato Fest, saying that it was this epic trance film that like was all a metaphor for capitalism, and and like there because when you have these like just like dumb, like vague blanket symbols, you can apply them to anything. And so I've converted this into a very deep like introspective. The commentary is actually included on the DVD. So this is the last thing that I have to do before I'm done with the DVD. So I don't really like doing commentaries. They're not that fun. This scene is all reversed. A lot of people can't tell because I'm just like really, really, really talented. But it actually started at the doorknob, and then I walked backwards downstairs and everything. And this scene kind of this is kind of like shows Mikey at his peak. Like Mikey is a genius at manipulating his body and voice in a like humorous way. He can just make just listen to this. He is a genius at like body gestures and squealing, basically, which is, I mean, it helped Blashco out a lot. That's actually one of the effects that I'm most impressed with that we've ever done in Blashco when it transferred from Mikey to Hayden. And this is now, like 3 years earlier, this is in a movie called Poseidon, which is going to come up again. I think it's in Act 2. Welcome to Eternity is divided into 3 acts, and I think 11 movements. A lot of people say this is their favorite joke.
It's locked.
It's pretty good. I'm proud of it. I like it. Alright, so this is Quasimodo. And I think I'm just going to let Jordan take it from here.
If I remember correctly, it was a cool spring morning. We were walking through a valley down, like, near where we live. It's this nice little valley. It's got all these pretty flowers and everything. And then suddenly, it got filled with toxic gas. So we decided to embody that, the death of nature and of, well, basically animals and shit. We had to embody that in a film. That's why we made the Quasimodo series.
Oh boy. Okay, this is New Blarticus 6000. And this, mind you, was created a year before the existence of Tim and Eric. Just showing you how prolific Blashco was. Basically, wow, this is an embarrassing film. Basically, this is an inside joke. Well, noob comes from the internet, like Xbox. We all played a lot of Xbox before we started filming a lot, and we made up this word nooblar. And one day, I don't know if we made it up, but we said it a lot. And one day, Mikey and Hayden snuck into my room while I was watching a movie downstairs with my family and made a movie called New Blarticus 5000. And it was like, I think it was like 7 shots that were all like very intensely edited, kind of like the ones that you see here, of them just like saying noob a bunch in like really outrageous and like honestly grotesque, I would say, ways, like just really kind of horrifying. But like it was I mean, I really liked it just because I like walked up into my room and my friends had finished a movie that I had no idea was being made. So that was nice. And oh god. Yeah, but anyways, like this is very, if you've ever seen Tim and Eric, this is very, very similar. It's just really dumb editing. I mean, it's only using iMovie. And mind you, we're in high school and we're just literally experimenting. Tim and Eric is more like, it's like people who know what the fuck they're doing. But this is, I mean, I don't know, it's very similar. Okay, so I guess this literally made as little sense as it did in the original film that it was in, as it does now. Like, these 2 characters, 5 years ago, where's that Chinese food? You tell me, they have guns, what's going on here? Okay. And that's the end of Act 1. Alright, and this is Act 2. And this is this is from a movie from Poon to Badass, which we never released. We never really finished. It was a travesty. It was during season 3, which was kind of when Blashco died. But okay, this is Jimmy Ford, and this is one of my favorites. It's really short and sweet, and it's basically, there were like 3 purposes of it. One was to make fun of this kid that we knew named Jimmy Ford, who really did want to be a NASCAR racer. He was dating our friend Lauren Huff, and he was a big wiener, so we had no moral objection to making fun of him. The second goal for this film was, I remember I had just downloaded this song, and I'm pretty sure it's from the Spider-Man 3 trailer, and I was just like, I bet if we put really, really, really retarded stuff to this song and edited it, like a trailer, that it would make it more meaningful. And it, just a way of, music manipulation. And I think we kind of succeeded. This is probably the stupidest movie ever made. And then the third goal of this film was to make as many horrible racing puns as we could, like jam your gears, pull a Z-brake, that's one of my favorite cuts, when it cuts to Mikey and he's just like, it's like a normal racing flick, and then boom, there's a gun and someone's life is being threatened. It's like, doesn't make much sense. And I like how This shows like the laziness of Blashco. We're literally just in my driveway. We haven't even driven. We didn't even start the car. And we're making a trailer. You know, it's just like clearly there's no way he could drive forward right there. And then stock material. Yep. No shame. We have no shame in Blashco. And this is a film that we made in 2008, I think, making it the last official Blashco film. And it's not really officially Blashco because it was made for AM at CM, but I mean, it was made by the Blashco people, and I guess it does have its own title sequence. So yeah, it's Blashco. Yeah, I mean, this is a good one. This is like I think this is one of my funniest performances. I think that, like, I'm really not that good. I'm in a lot of them, but I think, like, you know, what I did was good. I edited a lot of them, and I made them better, but I don't think my acting is very up to par. But in this one, it's pretty good. I really like the bird. I really like that bird. But yeah, this was made for AM at CM, which is basically like at our high school we had this broadcasting news channel for, you know, the announcements, and we would all, like, basically Blashco got into it and kind of took over, and we released really stupid shit like this for it. This is all about, you can't really tell, but that was the homecoming theme. So like this is all about the homecoming theme, but we just used that as a backdrop to make a western that we wanted to do. So, which was pretty fun. Yeah, that one, yeah, that's the end of that. This is Poseidon. So basically with this film, we took the trailer. The movie wasn't even released. None of us had seen it. We took the trailer and edited it into more of a movie, and then built upon it and made this intricate plot where they had to get out of this ship, and then this character ends up being Poseidon all along. Which is just, I mean, it's just like a big parody of like a horrible, you know, like movie twist. I want to, you know, maybe bring up like Shutter Island or something, you know, one of those horrible, like, oh my god, you've got to be kidding me twists, where it just like angers you. It's just like, to watch a movie called Poseidon where everyone starts dying, and then it's like Poseidon ended up being one of the main characters and had been controlling it all along, I would probably start hemorrhaging a little bit at least. And here's Mikey just improving this intricate, I guess, quote unquote, you know, reveal of that he has been setting up everything that has gone wrong, like the tsunami alarm, the lockdown, etc., etc. And this is a clip from Quasimodo. This is actually out here. This is the backyard of my neighbor, my back door neighbors. They like live right behind me, but they have this big elaborate backyard where for their son who used to like bike a lot and stuff. And I swear we filmed there. I mean, we probably were down there more than they were. We use that all the time. They were very nice. They always were okay with us filming down there. Oh, this is early. You can tell by the video game posters up on my wall. This is season 2. This is a film called Explosions, one of Mikey's genius contributions to Blashco. Hey, I remember. Hey, Asher. I want to make a movie where we just blow up. And I just looked at him and nodded. I was like, yes, that needs to exist. And this is what became of that. It was just, there's no plot. I mean, this is basically the first time that we kind of experimented with this, like, Dadaist, surrealist, like, you know, it's almost Tim and Eric, like, Adult Swim caliber, like, you know, just, like, interesting, like, this was, like, one of the first movies that didn't have a plot in any way. Like, we weren't even trying to make a plot. Before this, it was, like, we had, like, Open House and the CM and Lost and all these, they were all parodies of shows and of, you know, just like, or, you know, whatever. But then with this, we started doing, like, we start getting into more like obscure shit, which I appreciate. You know, this was a very fun movie to make. And this is a clip from Acid Snow, which you don't need to worry about. Okay, I'm gonna let Jordan talk again, and he's actually gonna finish the act up. So I'll see you next act. All right.
And then after the first Kasimoto, we felt we established the symbols, the motifs, everything quite well. So we decided to just make a comedy, like a lighthearted family film. You know, just the kind of thing that makes you want to wake up in the morning, you know?
My God, but you'll die too.
Welcome to the rest of these little messages. See what you would have sex for there's fat and then.
Hello, you've reached Dr. Gibbons. How may I help you?
Dr. Gibbons, high school, 3 o'clock. Toxic gas.
I'm back. This is this is just a clip that we found. I remember we were going through all our clips of this. It was this old movie called The Return. It was actually supposed to be the sequel to Blashco Resurrection, and it was just horrible. Jimmy Ford was in it, and he was in a wheelchair, and it was utter chaos. It was horrible. But we found this clip of the final fight scene, and that's my grandma on the back left. I love her. We used her house. That was where we filmed everything, and like she's upset. You can tell that she's kind of upset because she's waiting for me to film. I mean, like think about it. Like she, you know, at this point she's like 76, and she's like her house is just being consumed by dumb kids filming all the time. So she's not too happy about that. But anyways, it was just Hayden's idea to like make it just like she's a ghost. Like we have this ghost footage, but I thought it was pretty good. I decided to toss it in here. Oh, and here's the second part of New Blarticus 6000 with some Rat-a-tat playing. Blashco doesn't really have a good soundtrack, but I mean this song's great, and like the RJD2 stuff is good, but most of Blashco's musical endeavors were pretty shitty. Oh boy. I don't really know what to comment on this. I remember this was a really fun, you know, the footage, we were just excited to see what we were going to do with the editing. I mean, all this footage was not funny in any way, but, you know, it's just the editing that saves it. And it's very similar to Tim and Eric, except the only thing that Tim and Eric does differently is when they don't know how to end a sketch, they just do some weird editing techniques. And when we don't know how to end a sketch, we just all decide to die. So, oh, and then this is just kind of like an homage to Officer Malone, the first character that we created. He was like at the end of the original film that we made, Open House, and he's kind of been a reoccurring spirit ever since. He's a good character. I think there should be a T-shirt with a picture of Officer Malone on it, and then his catchphrase, "I need backup," which is just the lamest catchphrase ever. Okay, and here we are. Welcome to Eternity. Okay, so this is from a movie called Blashco Resurrection. We really thought that Blashco was dead because we had made like 3 or 4 horrible movies in a row, and we were just worried about it. So we wrote a script and everything, and this, I mean, I think this is probably our best. But the joke here is, okay, so I was a main character in the film up until this point. I actually acted in it and everything. But then I left to go see my dad in California, and they wanted to keep filming it. So they brought in George, the guy sitting across from Hayden, George. He's great. I'm actually really honored to have George play me. You know, I think that, you know, this is like a good rule that I started learning, like, be in the films as little as possible, and they will be funnier for me personally. So I'm really happy that, you know, to have such a talented entity as George to, you know, play me is just, you know, very satisfying, it just makes me feel good. This is, you know, when you're watching Blashco, you just have to allow yourself to see the same person and just understand that it's a different character, because that's clearly Mikey, and he's their other, their third guy is clearly not with him. So, anyways, the story that's happening right here is these guys all have to go into Blashco HQ. They have to break into Blashco HQ to save me, played by George. And okay, this is a big inside joke. If you notice, there aren't very many girls in any of these films, so we kind of created our own like inside joke that we're afraid of girls, which it actually showed up in a lot of movies. But this is the one that I mean, most of the movies that it showed up in we didn't keep, but this is like, this is the final test. A girl, just defeating her. And that's actually Corey Royer. Very, very nice girl. I'm not gonna comment actually. She used to be really cool, and then she kind of just bailed on us, and it's kind of a butt slut thing to do, I'd say. But whatever. And this is Sean is always embarrassed about that joke, the credit card joke. But yeah, it's been too long since something incoherent happened, so I'm glad that this is happening now. It's weird listening to this on headphones, because you could hear like almost like every other cut is just someone laughing at the end of it. Or saying, okay, go. But you just barely don't hear it. Okay, so they defeated the girl, they defeated Corey the butt slut. And now they're coming inside to face Hayden. I like that shot a lot right there. Most of Blashco is pretty poorly filmed, I would say. We never really got into doing close-ups or anything. There are a few in this film, but I was all about the narrative. I always wanted to tell just a funny story. I never really thought of like awesome angles or anything until I got to college.
Where's JP? He's at Casino Royale playing blackjack.
That is my hair that Alex is wearing, I'm pretty sure. And Alex wanted to wear it, and that's why they cut my hair. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure, because right now I'm in California being really bored, probably.
How about I kill you?
I cut out a really embarrassing shot of Hayden right here, but he was pretty happy about that.
What's that, Eshe? You wanna die?
It's bad.
Blashco is a plague on this earth. I have cleansed it.
This is just like, oh, and here it is. Yep. Welcome to eternity. I do not know what that means. And this is, of course, a witty parody of a Hollywood shootout. Just wit is being tossed around left and right. Sean, look at Sean's face. Oh, I love Sean. And then Mikey, of course. Mikey really likes being filmed. He likes people looking at him. Him and Brett are very similar in that sense. And now George plays Hayden. But Hayden doesn't like doing his own stunts. He's kind of a diva. Oh boy. Okay, so this is the end of a sloppy gelato fest.
Look at the
And,
composition.
this is yeah, I remember we weren't even gonna finish this movie, which happens like every second movie, every other movie we make. We decided like not to finish it because we were just tired of filming, and I'm always the one who steps in and is like, no, we gotta fucking finish this because we spent like 8 hours on it and it's not done, and I know we're never gonna finish it. So, but this is I love how it ends just like 400 blows, I think it's called. Just like him staring into the screen, you know, as if it's deep in any way. And this is the final shot of Lords and Tyrants. Sean's character walking after his grand adventure into the sunset with the power lines in the background and his Nike sneakers. This is supposed to be set in like a Middle Earth type universe. There are a lot of continuity errors with it, but. And Mikey said, "Blashco in a hole simply is a blumpkin." And this is probably my favorite outtake. I remember it was really one of the most fun parts about this project was going through and finding all the footage that I hadn't seen nor had I remembered for years, you know. And that is the official Blashco logo designed by Ethan Chumley. I like so editing this entire project, like editing the bulk of the movie that we just watched took me about 5 days. And then editing these credits took me about 2 weeks. I mean, mind you, I was not working on it every day, because this is just a side project that I did during the semester. I didn't get any credit for this, I just did it because I needed to end Blashco to, it's over. But, I wanted it to be good still. I didn't want to just do it, just rush. So I kind of gave myself like half a semester to edit it. And now it's actually about half a semester later since I finished it, and I'm finally editing the DVD. But, yeah, this part took me a long time. I got very frustrated. I had to find a lot of clips and stuff. But I learned a lot, so that's good. Yeah. You should, there's also, these are basically all bloopers. And one of the projects I did right after, that I actually finished Christmas 2010, was the blooper reel. It's called Juju Bloopers. It's on the DVD. Yeah. And a lot of the early stuff is on the DVD too. Like, that isn't in Welcome to Eternity that you should check out, because they're just as excellent. Like, to say the least. And I decided to kind of have the last clip be of Jerry, just because Jerry deserves it. Jerry's kind of a pimp. I'd say he's a fetish pimp. You know what I mean? And Jordan always giving his 2 cents. I decided to put a very immature joke at the end. There's actually the final joke coming up, which is right here. But anyways, cheers.
Did she really give you a blumpkin?